Have you ever experienced that profound moment when your soul whispers that everything is about to change? That delicate space between breathing in and breathing out, where time seems to pause. This is where many twin flames find themselves in the final moments before reunion. The twin flame journey isn't just another love story. It's a sacred dance of souls that spans lifetimes. When you reach the threshold of reunion, you'll notice something different in the air. The desperate seeking dissolves, replaced by a deep knowing that transcends physical reality. This final stage feels like standing at the edge of destiny, where every lesson you've learned, every tear you've shed, and every moment of growth comes together in perfect harmony. It's not just about meeting your other half. It's about becoming whole within yourself first. Think of it as the moment before a butterfly emerges from its chrysalis. Everything that came before, the struggles, the separations, the silent periods, was preparing you for this magnificent metamorphosis. Are you ready to spread your wings? Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast canyon at dawn. The morning mist swirls below, obscuring the bottom, and every fiber of your being wants to step back to safety. This is what the final surrender feels like on the twin flame journey, that exquisite moment when you finally release your grip on control and allow yourself to free fall into trust. The fascinating paradox of this stage is that true surrender isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of the very need to direct your connection's course. Think of it like learning to float in water for the first time. The more you struggle and try to stay afloat, the more you sink. It's only when you exhale deeply and trust the water's natural buoyancy that you find yourself effortlessly supported. This surrender stage emerges after you've exhausted yourself from running, chasing, controlling, and trying to force outcomes. You've cried through the dark nights, faced every shadow, and forgiven the unforgivable parts of yourself. The desperate need to fix, control, or force union dissolves like morning dew in sunlight. You stop obsessing over their choices, stop measuring your worth by their presence, and find yourself in a space of raw, honest acceptance. What makes this stage so profound is its alchemical nature. You enter a space of complete transformation. Your ego whispers its familiar fears. What if they never come back? What if you're wrong about everything? But something deeper within you, your soul's knowing, has taken the reins. You've learned to trust the silence between heartbeats, the pause between breaths, the space between thoughts. The surrender phase isn't just about letting go of your twin flame. It's about surrendering to your own divine nature. It's about releasing the stories you've told yourself about who you are and what love should look like. In this space, you discover that what you've been seeking has always been within you. The connection with your twin flame becomes not the goal, but the catalyst that led you to this profound self-discovery. Think of it as spiritual skydiving, that moment when you release the last thread of control and trust in the vast unknown. You realize that what you've been afraid of losing was never yours to hold on to in the first place. In this surrender, you find a peace that transcends understanding, a knowing that goes beyond logic, and a love that needs no external validation to exist. Have you ever noticed how nature falls completely still before a magnificent storm? That profound quiet when even the birds stop singing, when the air becomes thick with anticipation, and the world seems to hold its breath. This is precisely what happens in the alchemical silence before twin flame reunion. A silence so charged with potential, it almost hums with its own frequency. This isn't your ordinary silence, the kind that falls between awkward conversations or fills empty rooms. This is the silence of transformation, as sacred as the space between heartbeats. Both twins enter a cocoon of profound internal metamorphosis during this phase. The silence isn't empty, it's pregnant with possibility, filled with the whispers of souls realigning. Think of it as standing in the eye of a hurricane. All around you, the winds of change are howling, tearing down old structures and beliefs, but at your center, there's an inexplicable calm. You might find yourself experiencing unusual phenomena, heightened intuition, vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life, or spontaneous knowing of your twins' thoughts and feelings. The physical distance between you becomes irrelevant because you're communicating in a language beyond words. This silence is the universe's way of creating space for the new to emerge. Just as a composer needs silence between notes to create music, this quiet period is essential for the symphony of reunion to manifest. During this time, your energy bodies are harmonizing, preparing for the physical reunion. It's like two planets slowly aligning their orbits, creating a cosmic dance of perfect synchronicity. The fascinating paradox of this stage is that the more you embrace the silence, the more it speaks. When you stop trying to force communication, when you allow the quiet to be your teacher, that's when the real transformation begins. You might feel your twin's presence more strongly in the silence than you ever did in their physical presence. This is because the silence strips away all the noise of ego, all the mental chatter, leaving only the pure essence of your connection. Remember, this silence isn't a void to be filled, but a sacred space to be honored. Like the pause between inhale and exhale, it's not empty. It's full of life-giving potential. This is where the real alchemy happens, where two souls prepare for the ultimate dance of reunion, not through words or actions, but through the profound language of silence. The final cleansing stage before twin flame reunion, it's a profound confrontation with every aspect of yourself you've tried to hide, even from yourself. It's a kind of spiritual archaeology. You're digging through layers of accumulated pain, unearthing artifacts of past hurts, examining each shard of broken trust, each fragment of abandoned dreams. This isn't just emotional spring cleaning, it's a sacred excavation of your soul. During this phase, both twins undergo soul scrub, an intense period where their deepest fears and insecurities surface for healing. The fascinating paradox is that this cleansing often feels like getting dirtier before becoming clean, like a wound that must be reopened to heal properly. Your twin flame isn't ignoring you during this time. They're fighting their own deepest fears, wrestling with the terror of being truly vulnerable. of giving themselves to a love so vast it threatens to dissolve every wall they've carefully constructed. The ego whispers its familiar warnings. Run away, protect yourself, this is too much. But these whispers are actually signposts pointing toward what needs healing. The cleansing stage isn't just about releasing old patterns, it's about transmutation. Like an alchemist turning lead into gold, you're transforming your wounds into wisdom, your fears into strength. Every trigger becomes a teacher, every pain point a portal to deeper understanding. You might find yourself revisiting old relationships, confronting past decisions, or facing uncomfortable truths about yourself that you've spent lifetimes avoiding. This is where the real magic happens, in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. The cleansing isn't punishment, it's preparation. Each tear shed is a baptism, each moment of discomfort an initiation into a higher form of love. You're not just cleaning house, you're rebuilding your entire foundation, creating space for a love that transcends ordinary understanding. Remember, this cleansing isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. It's about embracing every shadow, every scar, every supposed flaw as part of your beautiful, complex tapestry. When both twins reach this level of self-acceptance, the reunion isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable, like two streams naturally flowing back to the same ocean. Imagine two stars slowly spiraling toward each other in the vast cosmos, their gravitational fields interweaving in an intricate dance of attraction and resonance. This is what happens energetically between twin flames in the pre-reunion phase, a sublime choreography of frequencies aligning in perfect harmony. This isn't just poetic metaphor. It's a profound energetic phenomenon that transcends our ordinary understanding of connection. Think of how quantum entangled particles remain connected regardless of physical distance. When one particle shifts, the other responds instantaneously. Similarly, during this alignment phase, you might find yourself experiencing inexplicable physical sensations, sudden waves of emotion that aren't yours, vivid dreams that feel more real than reality, or spontaneous knowing of your twins' thoughts and feelings. Your energy bodies are harmonizing, preparing for the physical reunion in ways that defy conventional logic. The fascinating aspect of this energetic dance is how it manifests in the material world. You might notice objects moving mysteriously when you think of them, or experience intense heart palpitations that sync with moments your twin is thinking of you. Animals and people around you may react strangely, sensing the powerful energy field that surrounds you both. It's as if the very fabric of reality recognizes and responds to this cosmic alignment. This phase isn't just about energy matching, it's about frequency elevation. Like two tuning forks brought into proximity, your vibrations naturally begin to harmonize. You might find yourself spontaneously changing old habits, adopting new perspectives, or being drawn to completely different life paths. The universe conspires to bring you physically closer, sometimes through seemingly random circumstances or coincidental moves that narrow the geographical gap between you. During this alignment, you'll likely experience what mystics call the quantum leap. moments where time seems to bend, where synchronicities multiply, and where the boundary between physical and spiritual reality becomes increasingly transparent. You might wake up at specific times repeatedly, see number sequences that carry special significance, or experience powerful Kundalini awakenings that shake you to your core. Remember, this isn't just about two people falling in love. It's about two energetic signatures remembering their original harmony. Like a cosmic dance choreographed before time began, your energies are preparing for a reunion that will serve not just your own evolution, but contribute to the collective raising of consciousness on our planet. Have you ever stood before an ancient mirror, watching as the tarnished silver slowly reveals not just your reflection, but something deeper, something that has always been there but remained hidden? This is what the recognition phase feels like, that profound moment when you realize the journey was never about finding your twin flame, but about discovering the divine within yourself. During this phase, you experience what mystics call the Great Remembering, a state where you finally understand that the love you've been seeking externally has always resided within. The desperate need to unite with your twin flame dissolves into a peaceful knowing that you are already complete. This recognition isn't just intellectual, it's a full-body, soul-deep understanding that transforms every aspect of your being. You might find yourself waking up one morning to realize that the ache of separation has transformed into a gentle hum of self-contained joy. The mirrors that once reflected your deepest wounds now become windows through which you view your own divinity. It's like finally understanding that the ocean doesn't need to chase its waves. They are already one. During this phase, something extraordinary happens. You begin to appreciate your twin flame journey, not for its destination, but for its transformative power. Every tear you've shed, every moment of confusion, every dark night of the soul reveals itself as a perfectly orchestrated symphony of growth. You realize that the runner and chaser dynamic was simply the universe's way of teaching you to run back to yourself. The fascinating paradox of this stage is that the less you need reunion, the more naturally it flows toward you. Like a master painter who finally understands that the blank canvas itself is art, you recognize that wholeness isn't something to achieve. It's your natural state of being. Your energy shifts from aching to peaceful anticipation, from desperate seeking to serene knowing. The universe stops testing your readiness because you've finally passed the ultimate test, loving yourself with the same intensity you've been projecting onto your twin. When both twins reach this level of self-recognition, reunion isn't just possible. It becomes as natural as breathing, as inevitable as dawn following night. The journey to twin flame reunion is a profound spiritual odyssey that culminates in a beautiful transformation. When you reach these final moments, you'll experience a deep sense of completion that transcends the physical connection. The final stage before reunion feels like standing at the edge of a magnificent storm you've spent lifetimes preparing for. The desperation dissolves, the chase ends, and you find yourself in a state of peaceful anticipation. Your energy shifts from aching to a gentle knowing, and you discover that you're no longer two halves seeking completion, you're whole, standing in your power. In this sacred space, the universe stops testing your readiness, patterns begin to break, and communication flows without force. It's as if the cosmos itself aligns when you've released the need for it to happen. When reunion finally occurs, it often happens with a surprising gentleness. Nothing explodes, nothing burns. It's soft and familiar, like returning to a home you built together in another lifetime. This moment feels natural because both twins have become the architects of their own wholeness first. Remember, this final stage isn't about reaching a destination. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. The reunion is simply the divine recognition of the work you've both completed, the fears you've faced, and the love you've learned to embody.